Akira. We're doing Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, and also The Matrix and iRobot and Altered Carbon and all the other things that came after that that copied Ghost in the Shell.
I had another one to say, and then my brain went blank. So yeah,
Yeah, almost all the like AI robot movies. I felt like Altered Carbon the most. It's a show on Netflix. If you haven't seen it,
if you haven't seen it,
exact like copy of Ghost in the Shell. Way like down to the tech.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of movies that do the like you plug into the back and then you're connected to the internet basically.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph, another great dystopian sci-fi movie.
I remember when the Sega Dreamcast first came out. Now that'll age me there.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came out with the modem and you could connect to the internet, to a little modem.
That's crazy.
Dial up.
I remember when they did that with the PS2.
Yeah.
But you also had to get like a little expansion thing to do it, and it was for like one game.
Speaking of expansion things, this is Full-Time Movie Fans. I'm your host, Jarvis.
And I'm really, really tired. It's been a long couple weeks.
You're feeling the ghost in your shell a little?
I feel like I am a ghost in a shell right now, yeah.
A shell of your former ghostly self?
Yeah, shell of a man.
Nice.
That was a reference for 3 people.
You know what? So this is actually, I'm speaking to you. Sorry, I forgot to look up. I should have looked up your name before we did this, but this is a commenter's request, this movie. It was a request that we review this by a commenter.
And your name is?
You know who you are.
Yep.
We care about you a lot.
And it's the last time we're taking requests. I'm just kidding.
No, we actually, because after this recording session, I think somebody else made a request. I don't know if you saw the comment.
Oh.
But I have no idea what either of those movies are, so should be interesting. It's going to be a fresh thing for the both of us, I feel. So
it's going to be a Red Room movie, like just gore.
I feel like it's going to be
like actual gore, not like
it's going to be another anime type situation like this one, but I'm not sure.
People got a lot of anime movies.
Yeah, is that our thing now?
I had to explain anime to my dad the other day. That was a weird one.
Oh yeah,
because he was like, "I don't really get it," and because we saw a bumper sticker that had Inosuke from Demon Slayer on it. And he was like, "Is that just a boar head? I don't really get the appeal of that one." And so I had to explain the intricacies of Demon Slayer and how it's like a bunch of kids trying to basically save the world, but they're home because nobody else can. Everyone else is dead, and so and this one figured out how to do it by himself, but he's got very feminine features, so he puts on a boar's head to appear tougher. And
that'll upset the boomers.
Yeah.
At first they're like, "Oh, look at this young lad who picked himself up by the bootstraps and became super strong." And then he pulls off the mask and is like, "That is maybe a transgender, and I don't like that." Sorry,
which
boomers.
is why the boar's head mask in the first place. And then my dad was like, "Oh, I didn't know that anime had such in-depth stories." And I was like, "Yeah, it's kind of the appeal." That they do characters for some reason so much better than most media does.
You know, there's a reference to Demon Slayer in the workout world.
Oh yeah,
YouTube. Yeah.
What's the reference?
A pretty buff lady by the name of Lean Beef Patty.
Oh, I know about Lean Beef Patty.
Yeah, and the Inosuke.
Yeah.
So, anime is everywhere.
We stand buff women,
whether you like it or not. Boomers.
We love buff women. We're having a slightly different setup today, so Sybil's just staring at both of us, and I keep on making eye contact because I don't know what else to do. So we're talking to Sybil today.
Yeah, but we're also talking about buff women.
Yeah, including this one, which that scene was weird.
What scene are you talking about?
Scene where she gets super buff and then her skin rips off.
That's the kind of buff we like. ripping through.
Yeah,
your skin
true.
kind
I
of
want skin ripping
That's-
buff women.
That's the kind of buff I want to be.
Can I get a hell yeah from the crowd? All right.
All right. So Ghost in the Shell. This is wow. This movie's quite a doozy. It's definitely we've talked about animated movies. I think the last one, guys, we took a week off. I don't know if you noticed or not. You probably didn't, but we took a week off.
Yep, just 1 week. No other weeks, just one.
Just the one. And the last uploads we did was an animated movie called A Goofy Movie.
Yeah.
This is a different type of anime.
An American anime.
Yeah, American anime. Yeah, we just call them cartoons over here. But this one is one of those. You'll probably be getting a lot of these. Well, maybe not. Well, I don't know.
This is one of those movies that if like an unsuspecting parent was like, "Oh, it's animated, so it's obviously safe for my kids to watch," they get like 2.5 minutes in before they very, very much so understood that is not the case.
I feel like there's some movies that you could have on and your parents could walk in and they wouldn't know that it's rated R. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of rated R stuff every couple of minutes in this movie.
Yeah.
So this one would be harder to hide from the parents.
Yeah, the main character, for people who haven't watched it, she's pretty much naked for like half the movie. Like actually naked, not, ooh, I'm teasing a little something here and there. She's
And if
like,
you haven't seen the movie and you're going to watch it because of that, bonk.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that one, Jervis.
But yeah, this is this movie was made in the
1995.
Is that when the first one was made?
Mm-hmm. That's when the first one released.
1995. That is the same year as a Goofy movie came out. How crazy is that?
And both of them changed cinema forever.
Forever. Goofy movie changed my life.
But the manga was around for a lot longer.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer. I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, I think this is one of those movies that's like in the anime world is like very renowned as like, oh my gosh, it's like one of the original OGs. It's so good. And it is because it's like, it's older and it kind of like set a foundation for a lot of anime and sci-fi.
1989.
89. 1 year after I was born. I'm old. So yeah, first impressions.
You go first.
You want me to go
Yeah,
first?
you go first for this one.
First impressions, to be honest with you, because I didn't watch it early on, as I watched it, my first impressions was like, oh, I've seen this before. Because I had in
Like
every other
16 billion other sci-fi, dystopian AI movies.
Yes. So it felt very familiar because of The Matrix, because of iRobot, because of Altered Carbon, because
Blade Runner, that's the
Runner,
one I was trying to remember. It's Blade Runner.
Yeah, because of these types of shows that I've seen before it. It's like you say that, oh yeah, it feels like this movie, even though this one was the first one. That's how it felt. It was good. I really feel like the animation holds up.
Oh yeah, beautiful animation.
Extremely well done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I wouldn't say like it's as beautiful as like Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
Ghibli?
Yeah, okay.
It's Ghibli, right?
Ghibli.
What did I say?
Yeah. Actually, it's Studio Ghibli.
Okay. Studio Glorb.
You couldn't even recreate it, could you?
I wasn't even gonna try that one. You got me. But first impression. I mean, it's super cool. I mean, when you look at when you realize that this is like the grandfather to all those other movies,
it's a lot cooler.
It's a lot cooler because you're like, it's when you come across something that's original. That's like, how did someone's mind come up with these types of ideas? You know what I mean?
The answer is Greek philosophy. Probably drugs too.
Yeah, good shout.
Mostly
on that one.
Greek philosophy.
Yeah, and both, right?
Yep.
I mean, weren't a lot of those guys on drugs all the time too? Weren't they like always?
The philosophers? I mean, probably.
I think so. I think.
Do you know what they had to do for fun?
They had to open their mind.
Yeah.
Open your mind. That's also a
I
sci-fi
watched
movie.
I watched
Called Total
a
Recall.
wisecrack video about.
We should do Total
This.
Recall.
I think we
The original.
shouldn't. I think we shouldn't.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. All right. We won't do it.
You you finish your impressions. I was about to.
No, that's it.
Does it go
I
into
thought
it?
it was good. I thought it was really good. It's just one of those things. It's like it feels familiar. It feels like you've seen it before. But overall, it's a great story. You really see after watching it where all the other movies you've seen are influenced by this one movie. Super cool. Action scenes are great. Animation's great. It's great.
Great. Well, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah.
That was it.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Hope your day's everything you dreamed of me and more.
Hope your dreams are everything your day would be and more.
Bye.
So, two things for me, right? First impressions. We
Right.
got two things.
Two
First
things.
one is, I don't know if these are my kind of movies.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I respect The Matrix. I wouldn't really say like I really love The Matrix. Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049 are both like interesting slow burns.
Yeah.
And I don't like go out of my way to find AI, humanity, they're all shifting together things. This is what I would consider, and this is a new phrase that I'm adding to the channel, a theater watch.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because if you, I told you before, I like started watching it passively while I was doing something else. You just can't do that. You can't do that because then none of it makes sense.
Yeah.
Which means that you have to actively watch it. And
yeah. Kind of like Primer.
kind of like Primer, yeah. Except I don't think Primer's a theater watch. I mean theater watch as in like you can't appreciate the spectacle of everything
Right.
unless it's like right there in front of you. And it's
Yeah.
the only thing that you're engrossed in.
I feel you. I feel you.
Because I saw Blade Runner 2049 in theaters, and I was like, this is fantastic. Like, oh my God, this is so good. And I watched Blade Runner on a tiny little TV in my apartment like 2 weeks after that. I couldn't get through it.
You know what? That does make a difference. Watching a movie in a theater versus, and again, like we talk about, like your mood at the time you watch it,
Yeah.
and the people that you're with, and the people that you don't know that are watching the movie in a theater with you. It all like affects your perception of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So go watch movies in movie theaters.
Yeah, dude.
You actually
Seriously.
should. That one's a real one.
Yeah.
And like as much as it's expensive, buy something from them while you're there
Yeah.
because that's the only way they make money. The movie tickets do not go to the theaters.
Yeah. And then after that, you can come over to our channel and, watch our reviews and leave a like and a comment.
This
That'll help
entertainment's
us.
basically free if you don't count the device that you're having to watch it on and the internet that you have to pay for monthly
Yeah.
or the phone service you have to pay for or whatever. So it's practically free.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So, not for you, is what you're saying.
No, it's again, I can respect it for what it is, and I think that that's great, and I think that what it did was really cool, and the way that it talks about how, again, I watched a wisecrack video about this, which talks about the philosophy of the movie, and how
Sounds
it
like
talks
something I'd
about,
watch.
yeah, it's true, and it talked about how there's some old dude. Go watch the wisecrack video. I'm gonna make it sound so dumb, but it was interesting. This philosopher from way back when had a theory about how if you don't embrace what's coming,
Yeah.
then everyone will eventually die out. And so this movie is the and the other thing about it, which I thought was interesting, was there's another principle that the same dude talked about, which is I don't know what the phrasing for like what they called it, but it was basically like if you have a bunch of slaves and then the slave owner, and the slaves go out and they work the fields, the slaves are gaining more skill and more ability to provide for themselves than their master is. And then eventually the slaves outskill their master to the point where their master is basically useless. And so the AI, artificial intelligence in this movie, had gained sentience and was trying to evolve past what created it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a neat thing, talked about those two specific things, and I thought that was neat.
Yeah, that's always a theme in these types of involving technology and AI, that it will
And it's just going to do
become
that.
self-aware and then take over us.
It's kind of it's find something else to talk about with that, Except actually, The Matrix did do that. I think
it's one of those things where like we're so scared of it happening, but we're not scared enough to not progress AI further. You know what I mean? It's like, well,
it probably shouldn't.
It might not happen. Let's try it out.
We probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Man, I was trying to find a plot summary that was going to help me out,
Dude,
but mine was also going to be like a paragraph long, and these are like a paragraph long.
Yeah, I don't even use Siri anymore. I turned Siri off.
See, I'm the polar opposite. I'm the type of person that's like, look, if I'm going to be taken advantage of by like people who are taking my information, I'm at least going to benefit from the technology.
I feel you.
If they're going to take my facial scan and sell it to the Chinese government, I can at least like unlock my phone quicker.
Yeah.
Because they'll get it.
That's a fair trade.
They'll get it.
That's a fair trade.
That's another thing that my dad does that I think is kind of silly, is that he's like, oh, I'm just going to get a flip phone. It's like, they already got your stuff, dude. They already have it.
They already know everything about you.
Yeah.
I actually do like these kind of things. I'm very into like The Matrix and Altered Carbon, and
yeah, you would.
I did. I mean, iRobot's not great, but I liked it. What's his name? I think the guy was Alan Tudyk. He does like the voice acting and all kinds of.
The guy who plays Hey Hey and Moana.
And doesn't he also do? He also did.
That's all he's ever done.
KTSO, right?
Yeah,
On the Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a lot of stuff. And what's the stuff with the little dots on the face? He did a lot of that too.
Motion capture?
Yeah, motion capture.
I'm so happy that I got that one, because that could have screwed you over.
You're starting to understand me, I think.
I think so, yeah. I speak Jarvis now for anybody who needs the service. $100 an hour.
Yeah.
Just for reference.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
How'd you like that episode? Did you like it?
You like movies? You like this one?
Do you?
You should subscribe to this channel right now.
Also, as well.
Yeah. You got friends? Yeah, you do.
Do you? Hopefully.
Show it to them. Show this to them.
Prove it to us you got friends.
There's other videos to watch too. Why don't you watch those if you're so cool?
Yeah, prove you're not a bot. Leave a comment.
Word.